Hello everybody, my name's Adam Baumeister and I'm a Global Solutions Architect working for Palo Alto Networks. And today I wanted to show you how you can leverage Cortex XSOAR and our newly published open source package, Panos Upgrade Assurance, to provide validation and testing to your Panos software upgrade process. So to start with, you'll see that I've got Cortex XSOAR up at the moment. I've got my lab connected and my lab environment has currently one firewall and Panorama connected to it. And what I want to do today is I want to show you effectively how you can kickstart the upgrade process from XSOAR and where the testing and validation fits in and how it fits in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and select my device. In this case, I'm selecting this inbound firewall 0000001. And then from there, I'm going to start the upgrade process by clicking the upgrade device software button. As soon as I do this, this is going to initiate it's going to create an incident in XSOAR, which is going to initiate the upgrade process. So we go across to device upgrades and we click on 29. And in fact, let's do it this way because it'll be a little bit more efficient than doing it the other way. Now, this upgrade process is it manages the entire end-to-end software upgrade process within XSOAR, the entire software upgrade lifecycle. So the very first thing it needs to do is ask you what version you want to actually update your software or your firewall to. Now, in this context, it's currently running, or this firewall is currently running 9016H3. So I'm going to go ahead and select a version in the 9.1 train. However, I could, if I wanted to, select a version all the way up in 10.1 or 10.0 if I wanted to, and it will calculate, or XSOAR will calculate, the intermediary steps between the current version and the final selected version. But for the sake of argument, or for the sake of this demo, let's just choose 9.1. Let's say 9.1.14 or 9.1.13H3. There we go. Now, once we go ahead and collect the target version, the next thing that we're going to do is get prompted to ask whether we want to proceed with the upgrade process. So this gives you the opportunity to kind of pause the upgrade or, effectively schedule it separately to the rest of the information gathering parts of the upgrade process. I'll just wait for a second there. So as soon as I click this button, the upgrade process is going to begin. And the very first step in the upgrade process is for XSOAR to validate that this firewall can actually support the upgrade that we've asked it to upgrade to. To do this, we use the Panos Upgrade Assurance package, or the Python library within XSOAR, to basically test that the firewall is capable of being upgraded. So if we go ahead and mark this task complete, the very first thing it's going to do is those readiness checks, or what we call readiness checks. Once it's done, those readiness checks will show up down here in what we call a pre-upgrade test section here in XSOAR. And as you can see, we've got a series of tests that are related to various things that effectively will impact the ability of the firewall to be upgraded. So for example, we've got we've got the Panorama test to make sure that it's connected to Panorama. We've got NTP sync is enabled or disabled. In this case, it's failing in my lab because I don't have NTP. And then finally, we've got high availability, which is also failing because in this environment, or in this demo environment, I'm upgrading a standalone device. So it's of course not, that particular test is not going to pass. Now, because we failed tests, XSOAR is going to break it and say like, okay, well, we failed the readiness test. Do you still want to proceed anyway? And if I go ahead and choose yes, then it's going to start, or it's going to continue with the rest of the upgrade process. So if I go ahead and click yes here, the next thing that this process is going to do is take what we call a snapshot, or an operational snapshot of the device state. And effectively what that is basically taking all of the routing tables, the ARP tables, session counts, all the tabular information off the box, so that after the upgrade, we can take another one and do a comparison, and then based on the differences between the two, calculate whether the upgrade has or has not introduced any subsequent issues. So this upgrade process is going to take quite a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording and then tab back to either this one that's completed or another incident that's completed, so you can see the end result. Okay, so I've jumped across to another incident or a previous upgrade that I've done for this box, just to essentially cut down on the recording time for this particular demo. But the output or the end result will be exactly the same. So in this incident, you can see the incident is already closed, and that's because in this case, we've done the upgrade, we've completed the upgrade, and aside from the initial readiness checks failing, which is to say the HA and NTP not being successful, the other comparison checks failed. So no other action was required from the user. Now, after the upgrade is taken, after the upgrade is complete, we of course take that second operational snapshot, and both snapshots of data are available here in XSOAR if you want to actually view them to see what's in there. It's effectively JSON data that represents all the tabular data on the firewall, like I mentioned before. We also have a simple pass-fail warning up here in the assurance test result, just to let you know that like if you're doing a batch number of these firewalls at once, which is of course supported with this content pack, then if you're doing a bunch at once, you're able to see how many of them fail and how many of them, were successful. With that, you can also drill down into more details by downloading the actual individual assurance test results as well. But that particular thing isn't available within the actual upgrade user experience here. So that's pretty much the entire process that shows you, effectively how the upgrade looks within XSOAR, as well as the kind of tests that we support. We support a huge library of both comparison and readiness checks, and they're all available essentially within XSOAR. We can also build something custom for your specific use case if you're a customer that wants to take advantage of this. If you have any other information or you want to go into essentially more detail, because this is a very, very high level demo of how it kind of fits together, if you want to go into more detail, I encourage you to contact Palo Alto Networks via your account team. They can then reach out to us to get a more detailed deep dive into all this content. I also encourage you to look up our public open source Panos upgrade assurance repository, which includes all the relevant documentation as well as the library of supported tests and how you can also use it in other platforms such as Ansible or just straight up via Python as well. So thanks for listening.